Most people don't fail because they lack strength. They fail because they assume too much and know too little. They act without understanding. They speak without clarity. They judge without seeing the full picture. But the wisest men, they don't rush. They don't jump to conclusions. They know the difference between what they think and what they know. And they never confuse the two. Let me tell you why that matters more than you think. This is a story of the farmer's son. Once in a quiet village there lived a poor farmer. He had one horse and one son. That horse helped him plow the fields, carry goods, and survive the seasons. One day the horse ran away. The neighbors came and said, "What bad luck, you must be cursed." The old farmer simply said, "Maybe, maybe not." A week later the horse returned, bringing with it 3 wild horses from the mountains. The neighbors came again. "What good luck! You must be blessed." The old man said again, "Maybe, maybe not." Later, the farmer's son tried to tame one of the wild horses. He was thrown off, broke his leg, and couldn't walk. The neighbors cried out, "What terrible misfortune!" The old man stayed calm. "Maybe, maybe not." A month later, the king's army came to the village to recruit young men for war. They took every able-bodied boy, except the farmer's son. The neighbors said, "Your son is saved. What a blessing." The old man just smiled. "Maybe, maybe not." The lesson. That's the danger of assumption. Every time you think you know something, stop. Ask yourself, do I really know? Or am I assuming? Assumptions cloud judgment. They lead to overreactions, missteps, and regrets. Assumptions break relationships. They cause wars both outside and within your own mind. You assume someone's disrespecting you? Maybe they're just distracted. You assume your plan will work out perfectly? Maybe it won't. You assume you understand someone's story? You don't. Assumption is arrogance. Knowledge is humility. And the wisest men stay humble. Let me tell you another story of a stranger in the airport. There's a story of a man waiting for his flight. He bought a small bag of cookies, sat down, and started reading a book. Beside him, a stranger, quiet and calm, reached into the cookie bag and took one. The man looked over, confused. The audacity, he thought, but he didn't say anything. Every time he took a cookie, the stranger took one too, one by one, until only one cookie was left. The stranger picked it up, broke it in half, and offered him one piece, then got up and walked away. Now the man was furious. What kind of person does that? Later on the plane, he opened his bag and found his untouched bag of cookies in his carry-on. The cookies he'd been eating were the stranger's. He had assumed, and his assumption made him see disrespect where there was generosity. It made him judge a good man as a thief, and it made himself the rude one without even knowing it. Stop assuming, start knowing. The mind likes shortcuts. It likes filling in the blanks. But wisdom? Wisdom demands precision. Before you speak, ask, do I know the whole story? Before you act, ask, am I seeing clearly or just assuming? Before you judge, ask, what facts am I missing? Every assumption you make is a crack in your clarity, and every moment of clarity is a step toward mastery. Why the wise stay calm? The wise don't react quickly. They gather information, they ask questions, they observe. That's why they stay calm under pressure. That's why they rarely lose control. That's why they're respected and feared. Because the man who sees clearly cannot be easily misled, cannot be provoked, cannot be manipulated. He's not blind with assumptions, he's sharp with knowledge. Assumption is easy. Awareness takes effort. But awareness gives you power over yourself, your actions, your destiny. When you're aware, you listen better. You see patterns. You recognize motives. You understand timing. You stop acting out of insecurity and start moving with intention. 1. Question your thoughts. Not every thought is truth. Challenge your assumptions like a philosopher. Ask, is this real or is this just a story I've created? 2. Seek first to understand. Don't speak to respond, speak to understand. Ask, observe, be curious. 3. Slow down. Assumptions thrive in haste. Wisdom lives in patience. 4. Admit when you don't know. There is no shame in not knowing. The only shame is pretending that you do and paying the price later. The difference between fools and the wise is this. Fools assume and suffer. The wise observe and grow. So if you want to live like a Stoic, if you want to lead, build, and rise, then stop assuming. Start knowing, because the cost of assumption is ignorance and the reward of knowledge is freedom. If this message awakens something in you, if it reminded you to stay sharp, stay clear, and stay humble, then don't just scroll on. Like, comment, and share this video. Someone out there is living in the trap of assumption and needs this truth. And remember to subscribe to this channel where men come to grow, to think, and to build inner strength. Until next time, live wisely, think deeply, and never assume.